Kharkiv region, armed forces of Ukraine push Russian troops back and liberate 2 towns.
Here's a summary of the article.
Ukrainian troops liberated 2 towns in the Kharkiv region and advance in 2 more. According to Senihubov, our defenders in the Kharkiv region are carrying out several successful operations, pushing the occupiers further back and away from the regional center. Bazaliivka, Lebyaste, and part of Kutuzyuka were liberated in a counteroffensive operation conducted by the armed forces of Ukraine. Our units advance further east near the village of Malarohan. Details: the armed forces of Ukraine continue to hold back Russian troops around Kharkiv. The other day, a separate airmobile brigade near Kharkiv destroyed 5 Russian tanks and 10 armored vehicles by jet fire. About 100 occupiers will never be able to attack again, Senihubov said. He also reported that the number of civilians wounded in the Kharkiv shelling on Sunday the 17th of April rose to 20, 5 people died. Apartment buildings and other civilian infrastructure have been damaged.
This post received a score of 48,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
The main battle in the east right now is south of Izyum, where the Russians are trying to push southeast to cut off big chunks of the Ukrainian army. Russian forces in Izyum are mostly being supplied out of Belgorod in Russia. By taking Bazaliivka, the Ukrainians are threatening the supply lines to Izyum. If the Ukrainians really did take Bazaliivka and keep going east, the results could be quite significant.
I am heartened that someday I will see all the military textbooks and YouTube videos talk about how this is a perfect example of what not to do for an invading force. Keep at it, Ukraine. Get those soft and juicy supply lines and send these bastards home.
I think that's partially true. The Russian military was just a lot weaker and more corrupt than most people thought. It's easy for an armchair general to say, "Don't be corrupt," or "Logistics are important," but in practice those things are systemic issues that are very hard to change.
I would have expected Putin to audit the military before sending it to war against the world though.
The auditor was also corrupt lol.
Corrupt and shit, scared to tell him the truth. When you saw how he chewed out anyone giving him bad news, you could see the behavior it would drive.
All great news and hope it continues all the way to Crimea.
Me too, though Kharkiv is nowhere near Crimea.
Crimea isn't coming under any pressure until Ukraine retakes Kherson. I don't know whether they're being held back by Russia there or whether they're just gathering forces, but it seems to be a stalemate.
Armchair general here, but quite some time ago it was mentioned that rather than try and capture back terrain, which can be very costly in lives and equipment, the forces over there focus on doing as much damage to the Russian forces as possible. Seeing as that same airfield has been hit 10+ times, and how they're still making progress but only very slowly, I would not be surprised if they are still following this doctrine: no needlessly risky offensive, just bleed the Russian forces dry. Of course, I have no actual evidence this is the case, so, grain of salt smiley face.
So basically the Vietnam, Afghanistan strategy. And before anyone says, if a bunch of famers with AKs could do it, then of course a bunch of highly trained and determined soldiers with high-quality foreign equipment and intel could do it. The forces of North Vietnam and the resistance in South Vietnam were also highly trained and determined soldiers with high-quality foreign equipment, for the time.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.